Hello and welcome. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to some of you folks all over the world. Welcome to this presentation of Utopian Global. My name is Claudia Eifert, and I'm so happy to be with you here presenting this amazing opportunity for you. With me on the call, I have the founder and CEO of Utopian Global, Mr. Bill Rowell, and we are very glad that you are here today, that you could take out the time so that we can show you what great business we have for you here. Bill, how are you? How is everything where you are?
Hi, Claudia. Thank you for hosting today's webcast. Everything is fantastic. Lots of things happening, of course. Welcome everyone joining us from different parts of the world. I look forward to going through different parts here with you and, of course, addressing any questions that people may have at the end of the call.
Fantastic. Exactly. So I'm going to give you a little quick run over what we're going to do here today in the next 30-40 minutes from now. I'm going to run very quickly over the presentation with you. Then we have, of course, Bill talking a little bit about the assets and what it's in for you. And at the end of this presentation, we're going to do some Q&A for all of you folks who wish to learn, of course, more, have some questions which we may have not covered here on this presentation. So with that, I'm just going to introduce again Bill here, as you see his little very short curriculum of his long career up there, the founder and CEO of Utopian Global. Maybe Bill, you want to very quickly touch on that?
Well, sure, Claudia. Yes, it has been a long career. I've been in business since 1986. It's many decades now. So for people on the call for the very first time who are not familiar with me, I'm born in Melbourne, Australia, raised on a dairy farm. In 1986, I bought my first business, a small hotel business. In over 20 years, I owned 4 hotels, and I sold the last one in 2004. And 2003, 2004. In 2003, I went to Zurich, Switzerland, and met a bullion banker, Philip Judge. We'll speak about him throughout the call. And the idea of going to Switzerland to the Grant Thornton Accountants Office, one of the big chain accountancy firms in Zurich, was to looking at doing international investment. Part of my proceeds from the sale, I wanted to put into other assets. I mean, if money's not working for you, it's going backwards. And this is really what we're going to be speaking about today, is about currency, your currency, and the effects of what happens with this paper money over time. And as a result of that meeting in 2003 in Switzerland, I was introduced to gold and silver. And you can see me here standing at a refinery, at the Argol Horizon refinery in Switzerland. That must be around about 2008, I suppose. 2009, maybe. That's a 9-kilo bar. So what's that? 10 kilo, 600,000. Probably a bit under 600,000 US as we speak right now. But so that's really it. And in 2008, so we're talking now 12 years going on to 13 years, we founded the company for the purpose of educating people about money, and secondly, how to preserve themselves against the effects of inflation. And that was really the whole purpose of Utopian Global. In those days, it was called Joseph Wells Systems, because the monetary system by design is designed to transfer wealth away from you back to the central banking system through the effects of inflation. Now, we have many people on this call from different parts of the world. We have the African continent, we have Asia, Europe, of course, and North America, South America. Doesn't matter what currency you have. I've got Swiss francs, I've got Australian dollars, US dollars, euros here. The longer I hold on to this stuff, the less it's going to actually buy. And so, and the general rule is, at the end of let's say every decade, between now and the end of this decade, between now and 2030, our currency is going to buy less than 50% of what it will today. That's the reality of it. So the point with Utopian Global is to our members to understand you don't build wealth by holding on to paper wealth. We need to have paper wealth for liquidity, to pay for our expenses and living, all those types of things, but you don't build wealth by holding on to paper. You lose wealth by holding on to paper. Okay, you need to be able to save and preserve part of your income, which you paid in these currencies, into real assets. And part of those assets is gold and silver. And part of those assets, we speak about STORH and other things as well, real estate, commercial businesses, all these types of things that you can actually put your money to work for you. And that's the reason why I went to Zurich in 2003. So it's been quite a journey.
Thank you, Bill. And we're going to learn more about, of course, this journey, and we're going to learn more about, of course, why, of course, everybody needs to own precious metals, and why this amazing vehicle, which you really built for people, where you really from anywhere in the world can get involved easily in, is so key, and especially today, in today's time. I mean, we started when back then, when we were just in front of a huge the global meltdown, of course, known in America for that, the banking crisis, and that was already bad. And now, of course, we are
actually it was fantastic, Claudia.
Yeah,
sorry,
no, it was fantastic.
Sorry
yes,
to jump in there. It was absolutely fantastic because precious metals was fantastic for precious metals. It went up from 2008, and you know the story because you've been a gold saver since then. Went up from low prices right up to 1,920 an ounce, and silver up to nearly 50. So for people like yourselves, it was a great little journey.
For us, yes, but unfortunately for many people who were not on this train, many were, of course, wiped out. But let's get into where we are right now. So what are some of the challenges most people actually face today? No money. You hear that all over ever again. No savings. Live paycheck to paycheck. High student loans. Credit card debt. And then on top of that, of course, many people, have lost their job, and especially through this last 6 months, or there's even entire industries which, they're basically dead, they're not coming back. And then we have, of course, the artificial intelligence, which as per Forbes article, the next 15 years will take out 40% of the jobs. And so those are some phenomena which we do see right now. I mean, 85% of the people who are still working as well, they are unhappy. They're not really liking what they are doing. They're unfulfilled of what they are doing with their work. So if you are here today and you feel like you were really meant for more, you wanted to have more out of your life, well, if presented with the right opportunity, what area of your life would you actually like to better? Now, I know when you introduced me to this amazing concept, I was in the right race, as so many people are. I was working 2 jobs. I was working a full-time job in the morning, and it wasn't paying so bad. And I was doing another full-time job in the evening. So that means, I had hardly time just to sleep, very, very little. So for me, certainly when you introduced me to that, I wanted to improve my finances. I wanted to improve my time because I had none. So that meant I had no time to build relationships. I had no time to go out, party, do whatever I didn't. And I certainly wanted to have a better lifestyle. So my financial game plan back in the day and I didn't have that knowledge, Bill, which you really gave us, and through, of course, the education system and the coaches and trainers we had throughout this program, my education was, well, if I just work more or I get another job, meaning trading more time for money, then I would be better off. But only to realize, as you just well said, your money is always going backwards. If you save in money and paper currency, it's going backwards. And that's why you need to have gold and silver, but you're going to touch on that more. So I was certainly in that phase. I was also in the phase of being self-employed. I mean, I did become self-employed, meaning I started my own business, and of course paid a lot for that business. At the end, I didn't do it. I lost a lot of money. But again, most people who become self-employed start their own business, be it a small shop, being a medium-sized business. You're gonna may make some more money, but you also have higher risk. You have employees, overheads, you have your rent to pay, you have your insurance to pay for your employees as well. So there's a lots of things which come with that. And what we really want in this presentation to show you, and this is what really helped me to build a business which I could really operate from anywhere, was becoming my own boss, becoming a business owner by owning a system that works for you, which you, of course, Bill, have created for anybody who wishes to have a plan B, to wishes to become their own business owner. Now, the Utopian global wealth building system or ecosystem is all about helping you own real assets, helping you make real income, and obviously therefore have a real lifestyle. See, it all starts with education. Because of the lack of education, people perish. There is this well-known saying. So what we have and what you really provided is really some top-level coaches. If you go in your back office and you look in there, from the crash course of Chris Martinson, from Philip Judge, of course, which was really the original co-founder of Utopian Global, and which we're going to talk about precious metals, life cycle of money, from personal development. Really, really key. I mean, people more than ever right now need to get their head straight, need personal development, because there's a lot of doom and gloom. So certainly that helped me get the right mindset, but also have the wealth building strategies, which usually only are preserved for the top elite, for the top wealthy people. And I learned them through the system. And because of the system, I was able to diversify into precious metals. So part of my income, taking it into precious metals, and therefore safeguarding and growing my wealth by saving in it. And this is what we're going to talk about and show you today. And of course, STORH, which is a very new concept, that's a crowdfunding platform, which also was very recently launched, not even 2 years ago, where we help or show people to earn income from income producing energy assets, obviously, by becoming a stakeholder in an oil field in Texas and many other things which are on the pipeline there. And very, very key, by owning an e-commerce business where we can get paid for marketing the products and services, and every time we refer somebody and that person refers somebody, we also gonna get paid. So we build a network and get rewarded by the efforts of all the people who move product through the network. I mean, this I love, and you showed me that. I know you are really excited of that because you yourself have a huge experience in doing that. We are on a daily basis sharing products and services most people just don't get paid for. How often, especially in this Corona crisis now, you know, I don't want to talk always about that, but it's key. It's true. So many people now, you know, they have been forced to shop online. They have been forced, you know, to even buy their food online, right? And so how many people do recommending products and service they may have never purchased before, but now because they can't go out and shop there, well, they have been doing that. Well, do you get paid for? Have you gotten paid for recommending? Probably not. And so we show you how you can get paid for doing so. So let's go a little bit into some of the key lessons which certainly helped me and is helping a lot of people improve their finances. Well, and this is of course the understanding when it comes to making money, that there's two types of income really. One is labor-based. That means you trade your time, which you're never going to get back, for money. Unfortunately, and this is what you're going to touch on, most people don't understand what money is. They don't understand that they are trading their time for something which is continuously losing. Doesn't really make sense. That's why wealthy people and the you know, rulers, empires, central banks, they don't do that. They save in precious metals, in gold and silver. And then, of course, another type of income is asset-based income. We're going to talk a lot about that in this presentation, having money working for you. You see, 60% of the people, they actually work on somebody else's dream, okay? Not on their own dream, but on someone else's dream. 35% work for themselves. They take the hardship of working for themselves. The problem with that is they have just like the 60% income from their own labor. That means they all have 24 hours like anybody else. They have no leverage. That means they're sick. If they are going on holiday, they have no income. See, when you have asset-based income, money working for you, you're a business owner, your own businesses, your own systems, which make money for you, you have leverage. And leverage, as Einstein called it, it's the eighth world wonder, or the once upon a time richest man, John Paul Getty, said, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. And so we show you how you can own a business and be automatically a 4% of the population. And we also show you how you can move to the 1%, the investors, where money works for you. You see, 5% of the population, the business owner and the investors, they actually make 95% of the wealth. While all those people who work very hard, who work on somebody else's dream and or work in their own business for themselves, you know, they only make 5% of all the wealth which is generated. Pretty unfair, doesn't it? Isn't it? So, but that's the case, and that's why this is so key to understand. There is another way. There is a better way. There is a different option. And it's all about options. So Utopian Global Wealth Building System, we are really driven to develop cutting-edge products and services which are in high-demand markets and capitalize on current global economic trends and future emerging markets and trends. So automatically, by having your entry into Utopian Global, by being on an asset accumulation, you enter the 170 billion gold market, the 20 billion silver market, and a 1.7 trillion energy market, oil market, and of course the digital asset market, which is of course very much growing, of a 320 billion. And automatically, because of our business system in e-commerce, 365 and growing billion social sharing market, meaning where you get paid for sharing products and services, and very soon, of course, more products which we're going to launch, because we're always launching new products. So Bill, you really want to touch on now on precious metals, because there's so many people, unfortunately, they really don't understand it. They don't get it. Why gold? They have no relationship to it. So I leave this next part of the presentation up to you, so you really can educate us.
Okay, well, thank you, Claudia. It's actually very simple. As I said to you earlier on in this particular call, each of us, when we go to our professions, to our businesses, we're trading our time for a currency. Okay, so you're giving an honest day's effort, you're providing service, and you're getting paid in the currency, and the currency you're getting paid in over time loses its value. As simple as that. And the rule of thumb is less than every 10 years, you know, $100, 100 euros, 100 Australian dollars, francs, whatever it might be today, shillings in Kenya or Uganda, is going to buy less than half than what it will today, less than 10 years from now. Okay, so that creates a situation. One, how do we preserve our wealth? And that's what we do with precious metals. And secondly, how do we actually boost our income? Because really all of us have to double our income over the next coming years just to maintain the effects of inflation. So let's talk about the goal, about preservation. Now, when I was in Zurich, Switzerland in 2003 with the banker Philip Judge, and I was there to actually be introduced to an international energy fund, which I invested in. A couple of years later, you invested in. But we spoke about gold, and this is Philip's words to me. He said, Bill, throughout history, rulers of empires, royalty, and the financial elite have always taken part of the paper wealth and actually diversified it into gold. And the reason why they do that is it's wealth preservation. It's also a transfer of wealth. It's a generational transfer of wealth, and in many countries there's no taxes when it comes to, you know, if you pass away and you transfer wealth to the next generation. It's also a very good tax effective way of doing that as well, depending on the country. But the example he gave me was on the whiteboard in this Grant Thornton accountant's office. He said 1 ounce of gold, which I have here, which is 31 grams, 31.103 grams. He said you can go back thousands of years to Roman times, and 1 ounce of gold would actually clothe a person, buy a toga and a pair of leather sandals at that particular time. He said in 1920, 1 ounce of gold would do the same thing. You could actually go into Macy's department store in New York, and with $20 or with 20 US dollars, because $20 at that time would actually buy you 1 ounce of gold, because gold had a fixed price at that time of 20 US dollars. So I could go into Macy's department store in the 1920s, and with 20 US dollars, the equivalent of 1 ounce of gold, buy a 3-piece suit, shirt and tie, and leather shoes. Now this was 2003, and he said to me, Bill, here we are in downtown Zurich. What could you do with $20 today? And I joked with him and said, Philip, we just came having coffee and cake in downtown Zurich, and that cost us pretty much $20. Now, $20 today in Zurich gives you 3 cappuccinos, no change. But the same ounce of gold anywhere in the world, exchange to any currency in the world, because it's a unit of value, will still give you a very good three-piece suit, shirt and tie, and leather shoes. And this very simple example was a game changer for me when it came to about investing. Because up until that time, I was all about getting money. Didn't really think about preserving it. He said at that particular time, maybe gold is it's the smallest part of your portfolio. Maybe it's only 3 to 5%. Many experts believe today it should be maybe 10%, even more possibly. But hedge funds are carrying 15% now in gold. Reserve banks in China, Russia, Turkey, many of the Eastern countries are increasing their reserve holdings of gold. Even the US, it's proclaimed it has the largest reserve holding of gold. That's the reason why they do it, because it's a storehouse of value. The longer you hold the paper, the less it buys. It keeps you in slavery in one respect. So the system that we developed in 2008 to thousands of clients around the world gives people the ability, one, to be able to save to be able to convert their paper wealth, regardless of the currency, into real assets such as gold and or silver for less than $1 a day. The minimum order is $25, 25 euros per month, which is less than $1 a day primarily. It's highly liquid, which is fantastic because just like yourself, Claudia, you've been on a gold and silver savings plan, asset accumulation plan since 2008. So each month, maybe even sometimes during the weeks, depending on your commission situation, you might actually convert your commissions, this paper stuff that you get paid in for the work that you do, back into physical metals of real value, such as gold and silver. And over many, many years, you've accumulated, I would say, a nice portion of gold and silver. You've been building your wealth and real value, and of course, preserving your wealth. Now, this year alone, silver's gone from under $12, hit just under $30 this year. So you've had a huge explosive return on your silver side, but also on gold. But with that said, gold market topped out in 2011. So people would have people who bought it at the high in 2011 would have had to wait until now to be able to get back into the money. But what are we meaning about back into the money? We're just comparing an exchange rate, one currency, gold and silver, to one currency, US dollar, one currency to euro, etc. So if it's a small part of your portfolio, the price is going to fluctuate up and down. The point is, it's preserving your wealth. Now, what I mean by this, if I was to put $100,000 worth of gold under my bed now, or in a safe, and put 100,000 euros or $100,000 in a safe, come back in 10 years' time, well, the purchasing power of my paper wealth is going to be half. It's probably going to be $40,000 to $50,000 or euros, whatever it might be. But the $100,000 in gold today is still going to have the same parity that in 10 years' time, and probably even increase than what it will have today. Now, there's many examples of that. Let me give you a couple of simple examples because it's really important people get this. In America in 1971, that's the year President Nixon removed the US dollar being anchored to gold, and all other currencies were pegged to the US dollar. The average price of a medium-sized home in the US was, I think it was $25,000. Today it's $280,000. And then back in 1971 it was $25,000, or roughly I think it was 700 ounces of gold. Well, today, of course, you're looking at the average price of the home is $280,000, but it's less than 200 ounces of gold. So you see a huge amount of loss in purchasing power in your paper wealth, but gold has preserved well, performed very, very, very well. We go to London. We have people on this call from London. Of course, UK. The average price of a home in 1971 in London, the median priced home, I think was it 7,000 or 14,000 pounds? I can't recall now. Around those numbers, or the equivalent of 300 ounces of gold. Now, of course, the price of the medium-sized home in London now is a minimum of £500,000, but still the same 300 ounces of gold. So again, loss of purchasing power and currency, but wealth preservation when it comes to the physical metal. Now, the liquidity side is really important. As I said, Claudia, you've been on a gold and silver savings plan for over a decade now. Let's say something next week you want to fly to the Bahamas or something like that. If you could, you might say, okay, I might take a little bit of my profit from my silver. You can liquidate that. You log into your back office. Anyone can do this very easily and say you want to sell so many ounces of silver or gold. that goes to the London bullion market, and whatever the sell price is from the refinery, that's the price that you actually get. It's credited directly into your e-wallet, and from there you can get it paid out directly to your nominated bank account or to your Bitcoin account. So it's highly liquid, and that's really important for people to be able to understand. It's a very easy system in that respect. And I know that we'll talk about the asset accumulation programs, and we've got some updates to speak about that later on. But in the meantime, let's talk about other assets. Now, I said in 2003, I went to Zurich, Switzerland to speak with a banker in Zurich about two things: gold and silver, wealth preservation, which I learned. Second was to be able to take some of my proceeds from a hotel sale and invest into other assets. So those other assets are actually natural resources, they're oil and gas. And I actually flew to America in 2004, where I met the CEO of a public company at that time named Ryan Messer. We've been good friends and business partners, associates since that particular time. And I invested a significant amount into this because I realized if I hold on to my proceeds from my hotel sale, hold on to this cash, it's not going to do anything. It's going to go backwards. I wanted to take some of those seeds of my labor over 20 years of owning hotels. I wanted to plow it straight back into other new seeds, cultivate a new investment. And that was the energy fund that we're involved in. And I know you came on a couple of years later, maybe 2006, Claudia, and people on this call, I know their parents were also involved in this particular investment at that particular time. So I've known Ryan since 2004. I think you've known him since 2006, 2007, Claudia. It's been a long-term business relationship. Very, very smart guy, expert in his field, and just how he's been managing, of course, the Raccoon Bend assets with the team there. It's been fantastic considering what's going on in the world in 2020. Totally unexpected, wasn't it? You can see Philip Judge in the middle of this particular image. He's the banker that I met in 2020. Just go back to the last slide, please, Claudia. Philip Judge is in the middle there. We also saw Jared Rose at the very bottom. No, he wasn't. You've taken no. Some of the other geologists he's not on here. It's okay. It's a different slide. Doesn't matter. We have Randall Eddington, of course, who's also the partner of with STORH, manages all the midstream operation with Ryan Messer. But I met some of these people going back to, of course, 2008. 2004. So it's a long-term business relationship. Very, very successful people. Philip Judge, for example, speaks at the World Gold Council events, sometimes in London, sometimes in Dubai, sometimes in Kuwait. He's done that. So this is really important because when you invest, you're investing with people, not investing in companies. Now, the Texas oil field that we invested in, we settled on this much later than we actually anticipated, but we settled on it on the 1st of August 2019. Fantastic asset, 5,600 acres, about 156 wells, over 90 producing, doing 750 to 800 barrels. That's going to increase as I put more of the actual wells back online. The great thing is the ownership of this asset, over 80% of the ownership of this asset is industry insiders, geologists and engineers. In fact, the company that manages this particular asset, Peter and Glenn, one's a geologist, one's actually an engineer. They're owners of this particular asset as well. It's their bread and butter. It's how they live. And they've been managing this since I think 2001, 2002, and been owners of this as well. So all through this drama of 2020, everything going on, the oil prices going into negative territory. First time in history, we've been able to have a profit every month of production. In fact, this asset has never had a negative result. Now, we had some hedging in place to protect the downside, which is really important. So this is the ability of the team that's managing this particular asset. Now, while 2020 is a very, very challenging year, it's comforting to know as an investor, I'm a major investor here with STORH, is to know that we have some real good captains managing this particular asset who are highly experienced in this particular field. We're not just managing it, it's also they've got skin in the game. They're owners as well. And this is really important for me as an investor. Risk management, I want to know I'm investing in something, the people who are promoting something, do they have skin in the game or not? Or they're just selling something to someone else. And these people all have skin in the game. The STORH equity platform, it's actually Utopian equity platform. It's we generate income. When people buy the assets through the Utopian program, of course, we generate an income from this. But you can see the different things we have here. We've got this is the process you're trying to explain here, Claudia. Okay, the network generates income, STORH acquires assets sold to the market, and assets generate revenue. And of course, that revenues get paid back out to the shareholders in one sense. As a STORH owner, you are a shareholder. And what's really important of this shareholding is when you actually become a member of Utopian Global, before you can buy anything, you actually sign a document. It's called the PPM, Private Placement Memorandum Document, which is a legal binding document drafted by our lawyer in Texas, Mike Miglio. It says you are the owner of STORH Equity in the Raccoon Bend, which is a US company in Texas, which is the holding company of Raccoon Bend asset. This is a really important document that you actually have, because this gives you legal binding ownership over the asset actually in the US. So this is actually very, very important to have. Now, since we settled on this on the 1st of August last year, we've been taking revenues in, lots of revenues in, okay? When we bought this, we bought 12%, and 8% of it was actually financed by the bank. And so the revenues from that have been going to pay down the banknote, which is really important. So as we pay down the banknotes, it's increasing our equity, isn't it? The other way is we can keep selling shares, of course, and that dilutes our ownership. So we're getting to a stage now. Ryan sold off, or STORH management sold off $500,000 worth, must have been 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we're anticipating another $500,000 to come in over the next week, maybe 10 days. And that's going to leave us with a very, very small amount of debt. We really want to be able to get this debt down lower. And once this debt's cleared, we'll then be able to start paying out distributions. And the reason why we haven't been paying out distributions is because we've been actually increasing our equity. So in one sense, we are getting paid, but we're getting paid in increased ownership of the equity in the particular asset versus getting paid distributions directly into your e-wallet. But that will certainly happen. And I think Ryan, there's a very good webcast that Ryan explains this. Maybe we bring Ryan on the call next week and we can go over this again to answer any questions for people, because I know it gets a bit complicated. So back over to you, Claudia.
Yes, and so of course most people are now wondering, well, what can I do? How can I get started? What should I do? And there's obviously different ways. So there is the way to come on board as a customer. In fact, anybody who joins Utopian Global first becomes a customer. You need to get your KYC verified, etc., your PPM if you wish to buy STORH. STORH is only being sold outside the United States for various reasons. So, but as a customer, pretty simple. You come on board because you wish to, you got the message of Bill with the gold and silver, and obviously you want to hedge your money against inflation. So you want to own gold and silver. You can do that from as little as 25 euros to any amount which you want to buy. Or you want to get into STORH, and you can buy STORH from as little as 50 euro onwards. And then, of course, we spoke also about the importance of plan B, obviously. So being your own business owner, choosing to be your own boss. This is a very, very key point. And this is so much important, especially right now. I mean, I'm here in Germany, and a lot of people think, wow, this is of course the motor of Europe. And yet we still have over 37% of the workforce still on part-time. So the workforce or the motor of Europe is certainly very much still slowed down, and not so much change in the very near future inside. So you got to have a plan B. And what we provide you here with is this e-commerce business. It's so simple that we provide you, of course, with a marketing platform. And all what you do is you do the sharing. And every time somebody buys from you, shops from your e-commerce platform, you're going to get paid. And this is why, you know, we have here Bill Gates up in because not because of what he has done in terms of Microsoft or whatever he's doing right now, but more so because what he said, and this is so many years ago that he said, if your business is not on the internet, then you will be out of business. We have seen that. Now, did I ever thought this is going to be so traumatic going to happen? No, nobody would have, but a lot of people realized that, you know, there's got to be an internet. In fact, I just had a missed call from Argentina from my friend who moved over because she married a Argentinian citizen. Well, Argentina, a country where they go out and shop and, you know, they talk to their neighbors and they go to the little small shops and they drink their coffee. It's still under lockdown. It's still closed. Even the elderly people who, you know, barely can manage to basically their phone to type had to shop online. So there's still countries under lockdown. So it's really, really key to have a plan B and to have a business which can pay you literally from the internet, of course, from doing sharing on the internet. And so we have a simple financial rewards program to share and earn in 3 steps. Step 1, you own your own franchise, you build your business, your affiliate business ownership entry package, you buy that, and you commit to a €50 monthly asset accumulation plan. Just as you would buy a franchise, it's going to cost you money, right? Just with here, it's going to cost you very, very little. And just as if you would own a franchise, well, you would have to pay your rent on a monthly basis, don't you? Your people, the insurance for the people and so on. Well, here you don't. Here you have a €50 monthly asset accumulation plan where you actually accumulate month by month real asset. If you are in the United States, gold or silver, outside the United States STORH. And today we're going to introduce a new feature for all those people outside the United States, because from now on, and Bill is going to share that, from now on, you will be able, outside the United States, also to select precious metals, gold, silver, or STORH. So you can choose in which you want to save on a monthly basis. So step 1 is pretty simple. You become an affiliate, buy your affiliate package, and you can earn a retail bonus every time somebody shops gold or silver from you, or every time somebody buys STORH from you. And step 2 is you become a business owner. That means a business builder, meaning now you introduce it to other people, to you start other business builders as well, and now you unlock more commissions. So you can now earn up to 40% of fast start commissions from the business builder packages you sell, and of course uni-level commissions and all the other commissions. And step 3, you become a pro business builder. That's what I decided. I wanted to go eventually full time. Now this didn't start in the beginning. That took some while I learned the skills. We earn as we learn, but then this unlocked me more bonuses, incentives, and as we always talk about, you know, everybody loves recognition and loves to be incentivized. Well, we have anything from mobile phones to laptops to trips, cars, and much more, and very soon new great incentives to be released. So how you get started as an affiliate, pretty simple. You select your premium package from as little as 99 up to 3,500, or you select your quantum package from 9,000 up to 1 million. The difference between premium and quantum is in the premium package, besides of course your business platform, so it pays out a lot of fast start commissions, so it's really designed for building. The quantum package is designed more so as an investment, meaning there's lesser commissions being paid out, and there's really most of the money going towards the actual asset, so that as assets produce you higher income. We commit to a €50 monthly asset accumulation plan, and you start earning, of course, your commissions from the people you introduce and who shop from you. So there's multiple ways to earn. I talked about the fast start commission. We have the direct bonuses from all your precious metal sales. Every time you have somebody who buys precious metals from you, you get 5%. Every time an affiliate buys precious metals from you, you get 1% on their sales. You qualify for all kinds of incentives, and of course all the other commissions. I'm going to a little bit touch on that now. So the simple system, or the simplistic system we have, is works like that. Let's imagine you were to own a franchise. Yes. Let's say a Burger King, for example, because everybody knows that. In a Burger King, I don't know, depending which region and probably which location it is, you're going to probably pay something like $200,000, $300,000 for it to own that franchise. That doesn't guarantee you your customers yet. It doesn't pay your overheads yet. It doesn't pay your rent yet. Nothing. It's just basically that you have that franchise, the license. Well, here, let's say with a 390 euro package, you get, of course, your assets. You get your business license, your affiliation, your e-commerce business. And with simply sharing it with 3 people, that's why we call it the power of 3, you're already cash flow positive. Now, think about if you own a business like a Burger King, it's going to take you probably a couple of years, most likely 3 years to be cash flow positive. And again, there's no guarantee. Well, here you own assets. In a Burger King, well, what is your asset? Your asset is that your potential to make a lot of money by coming people in. But let's say it doesn't work out, you lose it, right? There's nothing. There's no asset, meaning in terms of that you still hold on to something. Well, here you own gold, silver, or STORH. So no matter, even though if you never introduce anybody, you still own an asset. But with 3 people, you are cash flow positive. I put it here, the 390 euro package. Simple. Find 3 people who do the same, and you're already now making 440 euros. That means you offset your initial pack plus you own your assets. 3 people. I mean, how many people can you think of have not heard about gold or silver as the role it was, what it really plays and how important it is? How many people would like to have a plan B? How many people need a job? How many people need to make extra money? How many people would like to actually be an owner of an oil field? So think about that. How many people can you actually talk to? I mean, there's plenty and plenty and plenty of people. So with 3 people buying, you already are cash flow positive and you own your assets. We have this amazing plan with a 50 euro monthly. So we just basically show people how the importance of being on a 50 euro monthly asset accumulation plan to accumulate month by month assets instead of paper, which goes backwards. And so the uni-level compensation plan 3x3 is built or designed like that basically when you introduce it with 3, you help those 3 people to do exactly the same. Well, you're going to generate commissions well beyond your first people you introduce. So it's so simple. You level 1, you introduce 3 people. They exactly do the same. And now in your second level, you have your compensation plan, you are 9 people and so on. So basically it's a sharing, it's a building a network by, of course, you doing some effort and everybody else doing a little effort. You're going to get paid for the effort you do and the teaching and the helping of people get started to earn some income, and your commission, of course, there is no limit to what you can earn. And this is just an example. Of course, you can build as many people, you can show it to as many people as you wish. There's absolutely no cap, no limitation to it. But how would you like to get your own asset accumulation plan for free? Well, 2 ways. With 7 customers on a monthly asset accumulation plan who basically accumulate the asset on a monthly basis, your 50 euro is already paid off, and meaning you get your assets paid to save. Or with 1 new affiliate coming on board each and every month, you know, your again monthly asset accumulation plan is paid for. That means you're now getting paid to save, and this is really simply and easy duplicatable. So for 1 euro a day, really, you have available an opportunity where you can have ownership in real income producing assets, access to real wealth protection, such as gold and silver, a savings accumulation plan denominated in real assets, achieve infinite returns because there's no cap to, there's no limitation to how many people you can introduce and they can introduce. I mean, the world is huge, it's big. I believe on Facebook is more than what is it, 1 billion people on Facebook, something like that. I mean, crazy numbers. But I think, I mean, it's just outrageous, right? And so own a global online business and marketing platform which you can operate from anywhere. You have internet, you have a cell phone. Doesn't matter if you are in Hawaii or if you're in Australia or if you're in Honolulu, whatever. I mean, you can do it, right? You, of course, earn residual income from your marketing efforts. Every time somebody buys from you or somebody from somebody who was introduced by somebody buys, you're going to get paid. You have an independent team of people working with you and for you, and of course even have some tax benefits. I mean, there's really great tax benefits with this business. So everything you need to help you succeed is here. Your replicated website, your state-of-the-art back office, your marketing funnel, your video multimedia tools, your world-class coaching. I mean, only the coaching program, what you're going to learn here, the amazing mentors and coaches we have. I mean, go out, try to get it somewhere. You're going to pay top dollars. I tell you that, top dollars. And you get it already inclusive. I mean, I have people joining just because of the coaching program, not because of the gold or silver, not because of the store, just because of the coaching program, because it's really beneficial. It can change your life. We have an experienced global team, as you see, in a global business. So if you wish to pay off your debt, save money, change lives, create generational wealth, the time to get in is now to start your passive income. And again, important notice, the compensation plan, meaning the business plan, to earn from it, well, you earn if you share and somebody buys. You don't share, well, of course, there can't be income created from that. STORH is not licensed for the United States for distribution, so cannot be sold there. And we have a 14 days money back guarantee, which is also fantastic. And we have a new feature. So Bill is going to talk a little bit about this new feature, which just has been released, and I believe it is live, right?
Claudia, it is. It's very, very simple. Primarily what we're doing now with the asset accumulation, we're giving people a choice. Now, this is just for non-US citizens, because US citizens unfortunately cannot buy STORH. But if you're outside the US and on the monthly asset accumulation, if you like to be able to have, you have a choice. You can have on your monthly approval, as Claudia mentioned, to qualify as an affiliate, the minimum of 50 euros per month, and part of that is your asset. And we're giving people the choice here. You can actually have STORH and or gold and silver. So if you, let's just go for a couple of examples here. So when you log into your back office to qualify, let's say for the month of September, log into your asset accumulation monthly plan, and you can just select, let's say 50 euros or 1 month of STORH, and that will qualify you for the month of September. Or maybe you want to take 2 years and qualify up to 2022 as well, which would be 1,200 euros. Or you might want to take, 1 month of STORH. Well, this example here actually has no STORH. It just shows an example here that you have gold and silver assets. So this person's taking 50 euros to qualify for the month of September, and the allocation is actually to it's 50%. It's 50% will go to gold, 50% will go actually to silver, and that will qualify for 1 month. Now, let's say, for example, Claudia wants to come in and she decides she wants to own STORH and she wants to own gold and silver. She could actually take STORH. She might take, let's say she takes 1 year of STORH qualification, so it's 600 euros worth of STORH, which is 12 months. And then she's going to take gold and silver. Let's say she takes 600 euros of gold and silver, which is also 12 months, 50 euros per month. That means the system will actually recognize both purchases and qualify you for 1 year. We've got 6 months from the STORH equity asset. We've got 6 months qualification from the gold and silver assets, which means that you're now qualified as an affiliate to be able to receive commissions for 1 year, because you've taken 6 months from STORH and 6 months worth of purchases for the gold and silver. The whole idea is we just want to give people flexibility and how they build their asset accumulation on a monthly basis. Before it was just primarily just STORH, and of course we're entering now the strong third leg of the bull market of gold and silver. This is a long-term trend, so it's a great way to be able to get to qualify to earn your commissions, at the same time to be able to build up your gold and silver assets as well globally. So this is what this is live now. It's actually functioning.
Yes, Bill, absolutely. And a lot of people were also looking for that simply because they want to diversify and maybe 1 month do STORH, 1 month do gold and silver. So this is really, really great. Thank you so much for this feature. And so with that, we come to the end of our presentation. Again, the time to get into own real assets, have real income and real lifestyle is now. If there's any questions, I'm just gonna now check over if I see some questions for you guys. If you have some, please, you can actually ask them now. So let me just go ahead there and look if I do see some questions here coming from people while they are typing in. And if there's no question, that's fine as well. We're going to do, as Bill said, I don't know when, but we're going to certainly have Ryan Messer on the next future call. There's really great other stuff coming out, which we are working on. If you have not checked out your back office, if you're an affiliate and active in your business center, you have really great coachings added onto it. So I really recommend you to go to it, listen to it, and get yourself educated. I'm just still looking, Bill, if there's some questions coming. No, I don't see a question right now, so that's fine. With that, then I don't want to hold you up any longer. I hope you like the new feature. Please comment on that if you like this new feature. And with that, I want to say then goodbye. Have a great weekend. And Bill, I let you to close out this webinar.
Well, thank you, Claudia. Thank you for everyone taking your time out on your Saturday to joining us here on this Utopian Global webcast. Again, it's a very, very simple concept that Claudia spoke about. Two things we need in life, especially this has been exposed during 2020, is that we need to have savings in real assets and savings in another source of income. We offer you both at Utopian Global, and it's cost effective for all people. From less than a couple of dollars a day, you get the ownership of a real business and also assets. You just got to get out there and share it. And as Claudia said in the presentation, share it with 3 people. You've already got 100% of your investment return covered, and everything from there is just 100% gain on your money when we start paying out the distributions when it comes to, let's say, the Raccoon Bendel store. And then, of course, you've got the short-term income, which is very powerful, the fast-track commissions and building your network. This then generates through cash like that, and you can convert it straight back into gold and silver, which Claudia has been doing for over a decade now. So blessings to you all. Stay safe and well, and thank you.
There's one question, Bill, coming here from Ned Mallory. So can you clarify the €50 monthly? You're getting gold, silver monthly for that price, correct?
Yes, to make it very, very clear, it's just an option for people now. So to qualify for each month, this is optional. This is only for affiliates. If you want to own the global business system, be able to earn commissions, you need to be active as an affiliate. And to do that, it's €50 per month. And up until now, if you're outside the US, you only could own the store asset. Now what we're saying to you is you can actually own both. So let's say you had store last month, you might decide this month to actually don't buy anything on store. You might decide to put your €50 in the business plan of the gold and silver. Then you can drag it. Maybe it's all silver, maybe it's all gold, maybe it's 50-50, whatever ratio you actually want to do, you can do that. Remember, this is just a small asset accumulation plan to actually qualify you. The best way to build up your assets, of course, is earn the commissions, go in and do single purchase of gold and silver and build it that way. But that's primarily how it works. It's a very simple, flexible system.
Yes, so if I can just add to it, Ned, if this is not clear enough for you. Bill just spoke about the €50, which goes towards the asset accumulation plan. That doesn't mean that you get €50 in gold and silver. No, you get a business system, a business vehicle. You're getting your coaching platform. You're getting all the systems, and there's commissions being paid out of those €50. No, €50 is not pure gold and silver. It's the whole vehicle, it's your whole franchise. Okay.
That's an important point. Let me be very clear on this. The asset accumulation, as I said before, is the vehicle to qualify affiliates for commissions. So out of €50, 40% of that goes to gold and silver. 50% goes out in commissions because you want to be able to build an organization and of course generate your commissions there, and 10% goes for the company overheads. Now, if you want to go and buy silver or gold as an active affiliate, you go into your precious metals module, and whatever you buy, you're buying is 3% above spot. So it means you're getting 97% of the money is allocated towards a precious metal, and you get that as a qualified affiliate. So that's how it works.
Correct, and that's what I'm doing all the time. I'm all the time buying extra gold and silver from, of course, my commissions I'm earning. Why? Well, because it makes sense, because I get it 3% above spot. So, all right, that's the questions we had here. Thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoy your weekend. And let's get out there and share the message. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody, for being on the call.